What's up, Taiwan? I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The United States and South Korea have agreed that the U.S. can now deploy nuclear submarines in South Korean territory. It comes as the two countries' leaders met in Washington, D.C. and seek to bolster their defense cooperation over increasingly hostile North Korea. Jaime Okan reports.
Any attacks by North Korea will be met with a, quote, swift, overwhelming, and decisive response. That was the message from leaders of South Korea and the United States. The two countries have signed a landmark deal to allow U.S. nuclear-armed submarines to deploy in South Korea for the first time in 40 years. The deal was made as South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol met with his U.S. counterpart Joe Biden at the White House on Wednesday.
지금 전례 없는 복합 위기가 우리를 위협하고 있습니다. 한미 동맹은 세계 평화와 번영에 기여하는 정의로운 동맹으로서 이러한 위기를 함께 극복해 나가고 있습니다.
Last year, North Korea tested a record 95 missiles, and it's believed the regime is also getting ready to conduct a seventh nuclear weapons test. In response, the U.S. and South Korea have stepped up joint military drills, showcasing their own advanced fighter jets and nuclear-capable bombers. But during the meeting between the two leaders, President Biden highlighted that increasing cooperation was more than just a deterrent for North Korea.
We discussed our work together on promoting peace and stability in the Taiwan Straits, ensuring freedom of navigation in the South China Sea and beyond.
The U.S. has been boosting its military presence in Asia in light of China's increasingly aggressive actions in the region. Beijing has upped its threats to Taiwan, which it sees as its own, and has threatened to invade the country. Nations like Japan and South Korea are not only concerned about North Korea's actions, but also China's intentions with Taiwan.
In fact, one of South Korea's major shipping lanes directly transits through the Taiwan Strait. So we can see a clear relation between, Korean economic security, energy security, and, the security and peace of Taiwan Strait.
The U.S. and its allies are stepping up their combat readiness, and they're hoping to prove that their cooperation is enough to deter a conflict from sparking in the region. And the close friendship of Presidents Biden and Yoon means that for now, they're all singing the same tune. James Lin and Jaime Okan for TaiwanPlus.
As tension across the Taiwan Strait escalates, Taiwan has developed underwater drones to confront Chinese submarines. Eric Gao has more.
Reports of Chinese warplanes flying close to Taiwanese airspace occur on an almost daily basis. But Taiwan also faces threats from the surrounding seas, including from enemy submarines. Whenever China deploys an aircraft carrier in the waters near Taiwan, there could be anywhere between 1 to 3 submarines alongside it. To help guard against potential underwater attacks, Taiwan has developed the Seawolf 400 submersible. The small, unmanned sub has applications that vary from reconnaissance to search and rescue to being used in kamikaze attacks against enemy ships. At 4 meters long, the Seawolf is more maneuverable than weapons like torpedoes or vessels like manned submarines. The sub was developed by Thunder Tiger Group. The company used to make unmanned vehicles like radio-controlled aircraft for hobbyists. But as tension between Taiwan and China has escalated, their production focus has shifted to defense.
过去大概10几年的时间都是做中小型的，给这个取代 diver 潜水夫去检测啊这些东西。可是我们希望说，那既然在稍微在近海，那我们可能需要做得更大的。那所以我们用4米的。那4米呢，我们想第一个它可以 carry 更多的科研设备，它的电子夹舱可以做很多的equipment 跟 diagnosis。那最重要的是，我们刚好最近这1年半，整个全球的政治经济的变化之后，我们认为我们也可以 contribute 这样的载具，来提供给我们的defense 的一个需求。
China has one of the world's largest submarine fleets, while Taiwan has only 4 of the vessels. Though Taiwan is speeding up the development of its domestic submarine program, in terms of sheer numbers, it will struggle to compete against China. But that's what makes the Seawolf so appealing to the Taiwanese military. At a relatively low production cost, the small vessel could effectively deter or attack enemy subs or ships.
政府也好，或者是我们的盟邦，像美国，他也建议我们尽量可以使用叫做不对称作战 （asymmetry warfare）。那 asymmetry warfare 实际上就是说，人家的潜舰是100亿，你这个小的 movable 的鲨鱼可能是500万，可是呢，你还是可以取到这个嚇阻的作用。
While the Seawolf 400 is being utilized for national defense, its makers hope that future applications from the submersible will go beyond just military uses.
因应现在目前整个不管是国际情势或者是台海这个部分的一个关系，然后我们为了要将这个载具做到它的规格。 能够做到军用等级，所以我们也朝向军民通用这样子的一个方向来发展。
Taiwan is also developing so-called suicide drones to fend off potential attacks from enemy ships. The military is now hoping that vessels like the Seawolf will be able to guard below the waters. Alex Chen, Sam Hui, and Eric Gao for TaiwanPlus.
Guatemalan President Alejandro Giammattei has given Taiwan's Vice President Lai Ching-te a jade mask. Giammattei presented the gift at a welcome banquet hosted by Lai in Taipei. The Guatemalan leader also visited an electric bus factory in the central city of Taichung, and he shared a cup of coffee with President Tsai Ing-wen at an event marking the start of Guatemalan Coffee Month. Giammattei is on a state visit in Taiwan, which is seeking to shore up relations with its few remaining official allies. The son of Taiwan's former president Chen Shuibian has been sentenced to 1 year in prison. Chen Zhizhong's final appeal over money laundering charges was rejected by Taiwan's highest court on Wednesday. The decision ends a case that has lasted for nearly 15 years. It is one of a series of corruption scandals from the former president's 8 years in power. The younger Chen was found to have helped hide illicit funds abroad. He will also be stripped of his position as a Kaohsiung city councilor for the ruling Democratic Progressive Party. Taiwan's semiconductor giant TSMC says it will start mass-producing 2nm technology by 2025. The company made the announcement Wednesday at its North America Technology Convention in California. The 2nm chip is said to be 15% faster than the N3E 3nm generation, which will enter mass production later this year. TSMC is fighting to stay ahead of its rivals. Intel plans to produce 2nm chips in 2024 and Samsung in 2025. Taiwan's COVID task force held its last public meeting on Thursday. The group is disbanding after 3 years of handling the country's pandemic response. Eric Gao has this report.
那欢迎来参加最终场的记者会。
It's the end of an era. After more than 1,200 days, Taiwan's Pandemic Response Task Force is finally closing its doors. It's been holding regular press conferences since January 2020, helping keep the country informed about the latest developments during the COVID-19 outbreak. But now that the pandemic situation has stabilized, the group's work is done.
那我想，虽然指挥中心解编之后，那我们还是会持续的这个监测相关的疫情。
Studies suggest Taiwan's public appreciates the task force's efforts. A recent poll shows over 70% of Taiwanese think the country's pandemic response was better than in other places.
除了我们指挥中心以外，那还有政府其他机构以外，我想都是全民一起努力出来的这个成果。
Former Health Minister Chen Zizong, who headed the task force for more than 2 years, showed up on its final day. He said it was a lot of hard work to keep Taiwan's pandemic under control.
其实背后里面包含很多的决策，里面决策也有痛苦，也有辛苦，也有辛酸，但是都代表我们对人民的负责。
And now, with its mission complete, the team is able to celebrate a job well done. Rick Yi and Eric Gao for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally, we leave you with images of feeding time for the geese at Taipei Zoo. I'm Ethan Liu. I'll see you next time.